loud. Okay, so you should see your little red dot telling you we're recording. We will post this later if you want to revisit the lesson again. So today we're going to do ULS lesson 3, and I know this will be a little bit different from our usual format. We're going to be working with our curriculum for the week during this 10 a.m. session. So we are following our reading from the book. So we will try and make it as fun as we can, like we normally do when we're face to face, but it is going to be a little different than our Wednesday formats, as a heads up. So we're going to start with reading our story. We'll have a couple questions sprinkled in, and then we'll have some scenarios at the end. And unfortunately, there's some homework. So today we're going to start with getting around your community safely. Your community is a place where you live. There are many ways to get around in a community. People may walk, ride a bike, drive, or use public transportation. There are many resources to help you learn how to get around your community safely. So I want you guys to think about our word community. That's one of our vocab words for the month, and it means the place where you live and shop and do your errands. So you need to recall your vocab word for the month, okay? If you are going somewhere close, you might walk. When you walk, there are things to remember. You need to stay on sidewalks, walk in a safe and well-lit place. So you want to walk in places that have lots of lights. Cross the street at crosswalks. Watch for traffic lights and walk, don't walk signs. And you might practice walking to different places with your teacher, a mobility specialist, or a family member. You guys have pretty cool moms and dads and grandpas and grandmas to help you. So that's a really good thing for you guys to do. So our first question, I need your help today. What is your favorite? Guys, we lost a picture. Let's see if we can get a refresh. I want to know what your favorite way to get around the community is. Is it A, a bus? And for us, it might be our school bus. B, cars that are driven by mom and dad or friends or staff members if you have staff that help you at home. Or C, you like to walk places. So which one? I see Miss Carla signing B. Miss Denise, I can't quite read it, but I'm guessing it's B. Miss Jackie said B. I see Margaret with the B. Miss Connie, I think, has a C. And Kasha is maybe a B. A B, okay. And Omir has a B. So lots of us chose B, to ride in cars. And I think that's the way that we do it the most with our families and our friends and our staff. And it's just kind of the most convenient way because we can do it when we want to and we can get there fast. So I get it. Okay, our next question. Which sign is a walk sign? We've been practicing signs this month, so I want to see how well you guys remember. Okay, I see Miss Carla saying A. Miss Jackie is saying A. Miss Denise, is it A? It's an A, okay. Miss Connie's room is saying 2. Miss Margaret has an A and a B. Miss Kasha has an A and a B. Omir has a B. Miss Connie has a B, I think. Did I get it wrong, Miss Connie's room? My eyes aren't very good. If you guys see me like creeping close to the computer. Oh, Miss Connie said A. So you guys, it's right. It's A and B. It's a trick question. So in our country or in our state, we have different types of walk signs. You might even just see the word walk. There's different ways, or you might see different symbols, but both of those are walk signs. Which sign is a don't walk? Okay, Miss Denise, I think, is holding up all three. Miss Jackie says C. Miss Carla has all three. Miss Connie's room has all three. Mr. Omir has a B. Okay, so you guys are all technically right. We do use the stop sign or B for our friends to mean stop, but our crosswalk signs and the don't walk signs are actually A and B. Sign B is technically for vehicles, so cars and buses, but we use it too when we're walking in the community and when we practice following signs. So you guys are all right. Okay, next question. Why is it important to be safe? A, because your mama told you to, and that's just the rules because your mom said. B, because your teacher told you to and she's pretty annoying and you have to listen to her. Or that's just what my students say. Miss Connie's probably pretty cool, Omir. Maybe not you. And C, it's because you need to be alert and don't get hurt. We want to be safe so we don't get hurt. So what do you guys think? You see Miss Carla say C, Miss Denise says C, Miss Connie's room says C, Miss Jackie says C. And Mr. Omir says C. All right, you guys are right. It is to be alert, don't get hurt. But I also have to say it's A because my mom was pretty scary and she told me if I was not safe, she was going to get me and I'd be in trouble. So a little bit of A for me. Okay, so if you're going somewhere close, you might ride a bike. When you ride a bike, there are different things to remember. You need to wear a helmet. You need to obey the rules of the road. Now, rules of the road mean you have to ride your bike on the safe side of the road. So is it when you're driving, you have to go with traffic on a bike? I think it's with traffic. You have to, Miss Connie says yes, okay. And then you have to make sure you're following the sign. So if you see a stop sign, that means you have to stop too. You have to use hand signals. So when you want to turn right, is this one, straight, right? Straight. And then left is this way, right? No, opposite. Guys, I can only do it when I'm driving a car. I can remember the sign. So right and then left, right and then left. Okay, that's what it is. Hi, AJ. Thanks for coming, buddy. We're talking about signs. And then you need to wear bright clothing or have flashy lights. So I don't know if you guys are ever out at nighttime and you see people and they have strobe lights on or glow sticks on. That's something that you need to do when you're riding a bike. You might learn how to ride your bike from a family member or a physical therapist. So at our school, it might be Miss Bina and Miss Rose that help you, or Mr. Peter, or your teachers. You can learn a lot about bike safety and rules of the road at a recreation center. You can get a helmet at a sporting goods store or like Walmart or Myers. All those places have helmets there. Sometimes you may go somewhere further away and you might take a bus or a train. When you use public transportation, there are things to remember. You need to wait at a bus stop. You need to carry your bus pass or your bus fare or your train ticket or your plane ticket, depending. You need to sit near the driver and ask for help if you need it, or you just need to know how to ask a flight attendant for help, or the train people as they're not all conductors. I don't remember what they're called, but when they walk through and they check your tickets and stuff, you can ask them for help. And you need to practice the route before you go alone. Now, this one is super important. You need to make sure you know when to get off the bus or the train or the plane. You might learn to use public transportation from a travel trainer, from a vocational rehabilitation staff member, or from a job coach. Now, one of the questions I didn't ask is, have you guys ever flown on a plane? I would love to know. So yes or no, have you flown on a plane? My answer is yes. Miss Denise and Carla say yes. Miss Connie's room said yes. Miss Jackie said yes. Mr. Omir, have you ever ridden on a plane or flew on a plane? No. Okay. It's pretty fun, but it's kind of loud and it sometimes makes your ears hurt. Okay, one more question and then we'll go to our real ones. Have you guys ever ridden on a train? My answer is yes again. Miss Carla says yes. Miss Denise says yes. Miss Jackie says yes. Miss Connie's room is a yes. Mr. Omir, how about you? No? Oh, wow. They're pretty fun. I wish we could take a field trip on a train. I think that'd be super fun. All right. So what is an example of clothes to wear when biking? What are the safe clothes to wear? Is it A, all black sweatsuit? B, bright colored, it looks like fitness clothes? Or C, jeans and a t-shirt or a colored t-shirt? Which one do you guys think? Okay, Miss Jackie says B, Miss Connie's room says B, Carla and Denise say B. Mr. Amir, do you agree? Yeah, Mr. Amir says B too. You guys are right. So those are actually biking clothes. So they fit tight so they don't get caught in the chain or the pedal of your bike pedals. And they're bright color and there's a little bit of reflectors on them. So when you're riding your bike, you can be safe. All right, getting around the community, you might need to call for a ride from a friend or relative. So relative would be like your mom and dad, your grandpa and your grandma, or like a cousin or a brother and a sister. You may take a taxi or use an app on your phone to arrange a ride. So that would be like if you're using Uber or Lyft. I don't know how prevalent those are in Jackson. I know Uber Eats is a thing in Jackson, but I don't know if Uber and Lyft are. They're in big cities. So in Lansing, where I live, you can get Uber and Lyft, and it's on your phone, and you just say, pick me up here, take me here, and you pay them all in an app, so you don't even have to carry money with you. When you ride in a car, there are things to remember. You need to wear a seat belt. You need to tell the driver the address of where you want to go. We need to say thank you. That's a big one. And if your driver works for a company, you need to pay and or tip them in the correct amount. So paying is the rate that you owe them, and a tip is a bonus for good service. You might learn to take a taxi or use an app on your phone from a family member or teacher. So I don't know that we would teach that one at school because I don't know if it exists in Jackson. So that might not be one that we practice together. So you need to be safe when you go somewhere. Carry your ID card with you. Take a cell phone if you have one and tell someone where you're going and tell someone when you'll be home. Each community has different kinds of transportation. And what are the choices for transportation in our community? And we've kind of already talked about them. It's walking, bus, driving a car, riding in a car, riding a bike, scooter, skateboard if you're very fitnessy. I would trip on sidewalks, so probably not for me. All right, but I want to know, do you guys have state IDs? So do you have a state ID? Yes or no? And I know I have one. Omir does not. Okay. So since you don't have one, buddy, you probably don't carry it with you, but I carry my ID with me all the time. It's usually in the back of my phone. I have a case that lets me put it in here, or it's in my purse or my backpack. I don't know if anyone else in our rooms carry it in a different spot. I see Miss Denise holding something up. Do you put it in your phone? Pocket? Pocket. Okay, pocket. Okay. So if you're a lady, you might carry it in your purse. As a gentleman, you might carry it in your wallet. I put it in a pouch in my backpack. And if you don't care, AJ does have a state ID. Okay. Okay. So Mr. Omir, if you decide you would like to get a state ID with your mom, we can tell you where to do that. That's something that we can help you find out how to do that, like what the process is. So if you guys decide, let us know and we'll make sure we tell you how to get that done. So we're on to our questions. I think there's 7 of them. Okay. So these are scenarios, which means they're stories. Jeremy needs to get to his new job at the library. The library is 2 blocks from his house. Jeremy is blind, which means he cannot see, okay? And he uses a white cane. He will walk with his white cane to the library. So our first question is this one right here. Who can teach Jeremy to walk safely to the library with his white cane? A firefighter who works at the fire station. B, a mail carrier who works at the post office. Or C, an orientation or mobility specialist who works at vocab rehab. This is kind of tricky because we don't talk about vocational rehab a lot. So it's kind of tricky, but they help you learn about community and accessing things, if that helps you with your answer. Okay, Amir says A. Miss Connie's room says C. Miss Jackie says C, and Miss Carla and Denise say C. So the correct answer is C. It would be someone from vocational rehab. However, we live in a very cool community, so you probably could call your fire station and have one of them show you, and even your police officer would probably show you how to do this. But the correct answer would actually be your mobility specialist, because they'll help you learn to navigate, like if the sidewalks have dips or grooves, and they'll help you find at the crosswalks, there's the button that you push that gives you the beeping sound. So that beeping sound is for friends that can't see, so they can hear when to cross. But probably in our community, because we're pretty lucky, all of those would help us. Okay, so what can people do at a library? Can they A, eat lunch with friends, B, buy a new cell phone, or C, borrow books and movies? C, says Miss Jackie. Miss Connie's room says C. Miss Carla and Denise say C. Mr. Omir, do you agree with the rest of the group? C. Okay, good job, Mr. Omir. It is C. You can borrow books and movies there. You can borrow music there. You can use computers. Sometimes they do art classes or like community classes in the library. So for our next one, Kane needs to pick up his prescription from the pharmacy. Remember, prescriptions are medicine from our doctors. So it's medicine from our doctors he needs to pick up. The pharmacy is at the corner of his street. Kane does not have a bike. He will walk to the pharmacy. So who will teach Kane to walk to the pharmacy safely? A librarian. B, one of his parents, so his mom or his dad, who know the way to the pharmacy. Or C, the bus driver from the bus depot. You see lots of B's. Yep, good job, guys. It is B. Your mom or dad could show you that walk. So what else can Kane get at the pharmacy? A new pet, like a dog or a cat or a hamster, a first aid kit, or a new pair of pants. Miss Jackie says B. Mr. Omir, I need some help. Is it A, B, or C? Pants, first aid kit, or a pet? Omir says B. I agree. I also probably would accept C because my CVS sells sweatpants and stuff like that there in case of an emergency. So I probably would accept that, but B is correct. Carolyn is going to babysit her cousin this weekend. Her cousin lives close to her house. The bus does not run on the weekend. She wants to ride her bike, but her helmet is too small. Who can help Carolyn find a helmet to fit her? A doctor. B, a store clerk who works at a bike store. Or C, a teacher who works at her cousin's school? B, C, Amir says C. Anybody else? Miss Denise is holding up a B, I think. B. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the correct answer is B. You would need a store clerk at a bike shop. Now, a teacher might help you find out what store to shop at or where to get one. But this teacher works at her cousin's school. She doesn't even know Carolyn yet. Well, that's a good guess, Amir. Teachers do a lot to help you guys if you need to find resources. So I get why you picked it. So what else can Carolyn do at the bike shop? A, buy an air pump for her tires. B, get her nails painted. Or C, a bouquet of flowers. I see A. And Amir agrees, an air pump for your tires. That is correct. All right, guys, we have 4 questions. Nope. Yeah, 4 left. Okay. Brian needs to go to the post office to mail his bills every month. The post office is 7 miles away. His parents are not able to drive him. He needs to take the bus to the post office. Who can teach him to take the bus safely? A, a doctor. B, a store clerk at the bike shop. Or C, a travel trainer who works at the transition program. I see C, lots of C's. And Mr. Omir agrees. You're right. So we do not have a travel trainer in our transition program at the school, but I believe through like CMH or MRS or something like that, I believe they usually have access to a trainer that can help with those things. So what else can Brian do at a post office? A, get ice cream. B, buy a lawnmower. Or C, buy stamps. I see C, and C. You're right. You can buy stamps to help you mail your bills, which is not very fun. It's kind of expensive and not fun. Kane needs to get to his community college class. The community college is far away from his home, and there is a lot of traffic in his city. He will ride the subway to class. So the subway is a train below the ground, okay? So who will teach him to ride the subway safely? A librarian. B, his younger cousin. Or C, the job coach who works at the vocational rehab office. Amir says C. Miss Connie and Denise, I said a B and a C, I think. Miss, oh, Carla, you can't copy off Amir. I saw that B. Okay, so technically it is C, but some of us have really cool younger cousins that are not really that much younger that would be good help to teach you, okay? So, or even like a brother or a sister that do a lot of that kind of stuff, they might be able to teach you. So I do see the point of B. That was a good guess, Miss Carla. I get why you picked it. Yeah. So what else can Kane do at the community college? Play basketball, buy new shoes, get his dog groomed. So get his dog cleaned and a haircut, fur cut. Okay, I see Mr. AJ took A, I think. He booped A. Yeah, Mr. AJ picked A. Okay. Ms. Connie says A. Mr. Omir says A. Good job. Yep, it is A, so you can play basketball at the fitness center. Okay, so Jeremy plans to vote on election day. His voting location is at a church he has never been to before. The church is far away and he only needs to go for election day. He will use a ride service app to get to the church. So he's going to use one of the ones that you call on your phone. Who can help him how to use it safely? The mail carrier, his teacher, or a doctor? B. Yep, good job, friends. B. And then what else can Jeremy do at the church? Can you buy a new car, get your bike fixed, or volunteer or join a volunteer group? C. C. Okay. Omir says A. Buy a car. That would be a pretty cool church. I don't know if I could afford one, but you can join a volunteer group. Okay. So at Jackson Naz, we have the, why am I blanking on the name of our volunteer group that's out of Jackson Naz? Carla, Denise, do you guys remember? Miss Connie's room, do you remember what it's called? The volunteer group out of Jackson Naz that a lot of our students go to.
David's Promise.
That's it. Okay, so David's Promise is an example of this. It's a volunteer group for a lot of our students when they graduate and sometimes before they graduate, and they do local projects. They have a community garden they do all sorts of cool stuff. So that would be something to check out if you're interested. Okay, last question. Carolyn has a hair appointment at the salon tomorrow. Her dad usually drives her there, but he has to work. Carolyn does not want to miss her appointment. She will have to take a taxi. Who can help her stay safe? The doctor, a basketball coach, or the driver who works for the taxi company? Yeah, C. I don't know if that's, I totally agree. I think you should have somebody teach you how to ride in a taxi first. So maybe like a coach at school, a teacher, mom and dad, and then the taxi driver could help you if they were nice. But I don't think I'd rely on this one totally. So what service can Carolyn get at a salon? Can you get your laundry washed, your hair cut, or borrow books? B. B. I see lots of B's. Yeah. Okay, so B is the correct answer. You can get your hair cut at a salon. Good job, Mr. Omir. Okay, so your homework, should you choose to accept, is volunteer homework. By clicking this link, it will take you to a social story. There's a couple of them in here about crossing the street at a stop sign. There's at a stoplight and at pedestrian signs. So your homework, should you choose to accept, is to go for a walk with your family or your staff or whomever you choose and practice crossing the street safely at these three things. So the stoplight, pedestrian signs, and a crosswalk, and see if you can follow all of these steps to crossing the road safely. And if you do, you should send your teacher a thumbs up or a picture or just a little note that says 2 out of 3, all done. We did awesome. Just let us know. We would love to see how you're doing. So that's it for today for this activity. Do you guys have any questions before we end? Anybody questions? No. Okay. Well, then I just want to say thank you for joining us this morning. We will see you again at 11:30, hopefully, where we are going to talk about a pumpkin festival. And I'm pretty excited. See you guys soon. Bye, friends.